Good afternoon, welcome. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me from the chat. Good afternoon, welcome. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me from the chat. So let me know if you can hear me. Okay, loud and clear. Thank you, investors. Actually, thank you very much. So I'll share my screen just in a moment. Still waiting for some people to come in. So can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen? Just comment. Let me know if you can see my screen. So just comment, drop a comment. Let me know if you can see my screen. All right. Good afternoon, Godson. How are you doing? Thank you very much, guys. Alright, so I'm currently looking for price switching for this buy side liquidity here. Let me just do this real quick so we can start our discussion. So if we go to the higher time frame, just is a bullish daily fair value gap, right? So let me show you that. This is a bullish daily fair value gap right here. So I can go to the 1 hour. Let's see what we get. We had a bearish fair value gap just right here, and at this bearish fair value gap that rejected to the sell side liquidity just after we offsetted this sell side liquidity here. This is sell side liquidity. So at this bearish fair value gap, our model sort of formed here, our model. So for the guys in the community, our model sort of formed here, our sell model, but it was in a time window of 7 a.m. New York time to 8 a.m. New York time, which is still good. You just need to choose your time window to trade in, and you can look at trading in it at a 1 hour time interval. It's still very good. So we can check the 15-minute time frame from here. So 15-minute time frame here, I had a bearish fair value gap here, and see this. So for those of you that have been asking what a turtle soup is, it's just when a high is taken out, but you must have a higher time frame narrative to it. So you want to see a sweep above it, then displace to the downside, then you can trust that to be a turtle soup, and it must come from the higher time frame PDRA. We have this 1 hour bearish fair value gap right here. So 1 hour bearish fair value gap. So you see how it took out this high. So your entry will just be in the lower time frame. So if we go to the lower time frame, like a 5 minutes, you can find an entry here. So some people can get in at this point here. This point here where the candlestick broke below it, this can be a breaker block right there. Right. So but the cleaner entry was in the 1 minute time frame, all right? So if we go to the 1 minute time frame, we have this. So just after price took out this high, you see how it broke through it here. This down close candle, we have consecutive down close candles here. So this is the other block, while this is a mitigation block, right? So a mitigation block just trades off. A mitigation block just trade based off on the other block to support price higher or lower. So in this case, this is the mitigation block here, and this is the other block, and we had this, right? This consecutive down close candle, this your breaker here. So this is the breaker right here. So the way you would have traded this was just when price would um just when price trades outside of this, you can use this candlestick as your entry to trade down to any closest sell side you can see. Maybe this sell side, it can be anyone below, but you take the closest one. So this is a sell side liquidity right here. So this would have been your target right from this breaker, right? So this just at a 7 a.m. time window. You just pick one time window to trade in, right? Just pick one time window. So this 7, at least it ended around 8:30. That's when it took our sell side liquidity around 8 a.m. New York time. So still pretty okay. So by 7 minutes after 8, 6 minutes after 8, you would have been done with that. So that's just it for that time window. So I've pointed where I'm looking for price to reach for currently. So when we started the stream, I said that I'm looking for price to reach for this buy side liquidity right there. So we're just heading to 9:30 opening bell pretty soon. I think in 17 minutes thereabout. This is a bullish fair value gap here. So this should hold price to continue to this buy side liquidity here. So we just sit and watch and how this will trade from this level. So those of you that were asking questions like the time window to trade this in, you can just pick one time window to trade this in. I set my time to New York time. As you can see here, I set my time to New York time, right? So you can look at the 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Time window. You can also look at the 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. You can also look at the 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can also look at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's still all good, right? Just choose one time window, you trade with that. So less is more. You try to do less, you pick one and you work with that one. So once you've picked one trading time window to work with, it's best you go with 1 or 2 trades in a day, so you don't try to do too much. So for me, I'll be looking at trading just at the 9:30 opening bell. After that, I'll be looking at my model from there. So once that happens, I can start considering a trade, and if I pick a trade from there, just one trade in my live account and I'm okay, right? So one of the reasons for this buy is that we offsetted a low right here, the sell side liquidity I showed from the higher time frame. I think I should go to the higher time frame so you can see that we offsetted a low from the higher time frame. Let's use 15 minutes time frame. This low right here, see how price traded to that. Once it traded to that, it displaced higher. So just at 8:30 New York time, we had a news. This was the news here, and this is a bullish fair value gap from here. Bullish fair value gap here, right? And we have a volume imbalance right here. Took an entry at this point here, still pretty good. So just this displacement to the upside, giving us that willingness for it to trade to the upside, right? Makes me trust this, that price is reaching for this buy side liquidity right here. We also have buy side liquidity resting here, but it's best we consider this first before any other one right now. So if you're just coming in, give this a thumbs up. We have good views today. Just give the stream a thumbs up so we can reach more people. Just give it a thumbs up, right? So give the streams a thumbs up. Focuses on the buy side liquidity. So if you're in the community, the WhatsApp community, you have any question, you can drop right after the live stream, right? So it's still staying in this bullish fair value gap right here. So I really want to see it hold, but we have another fair value gap just below here. So this will be sort of our last line of defense. And I think we should divide this area here. So we have quadrants for our target. So the way we do that, I can do that with my Fibonacci tool. So I have levels I use for my target. I can use the midpoint of this week right now for a target. So let's see the midpoint of this week. So the midpoint of the week is consequent encroachment, right? So can use the midpoint body. So we have the midpoint now. So we also consider the midpoint of that week as a possible draw on liquidity. That's right here. So it's just a waiting game. We'll wait to see what will happen. Right. But my target is to this point right here, the midpoint of this week, and buy side liquidity just above that. And you see how I just like the fact that the candlesticks at this fair value gap are really staying above it. The body of the candlesticks are staying above it, but the wicks are permitted to trade outside it. So the wick does the damage and the body tells us the story, what it is going to do. So now we have this candlestick trade outside it. Remember I said this is going to be our last line of defense for this. So we look at this bullish fair value gap right here currently. So I still like the fact to see how it still stays above here, stays below and inside the fair value gap. The body of the candlestick stays inside the fair value gap. The wicks still traded outside. That's still good, right? So if it's going to go up at 9:30 opening bell, it will just pump to the upside with speed. So that's what I like about the 9:30 opening bell. It gives that volatility injection to it. All right, you're new to the live stream, Stephen. You just send a message. Check the description box. You would find a link to the Telegram channel. Check the description box. You find a link to the Telegram channel. Then you can send me a message. I think my phone number, my WhatsApp number is there, right? So you can just send me a message from there. And I also have my Telegram username right in the Telegram channel. So now we have this candlestick close below this bullish fair value gap. You see, so I can just take this out. I don't want to see it hold again as a bullish fair value gap. Now we watch this bullish fair value gap as a last line of defense. All right, so and we want to see this low protected. So we watch to see how that is going to react. Of that, we still have this bullish fair value gap, this massive inefficiency right here that was created from the 8:30 news, right? So if you're just coming in, give the video a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up, give the live stream a thumbs up. So probably we should be having music at the back end of our live stream because it's going to be really boring. Really boring. This stuff is boring. So when I post that it's boring, I know what I'm saying. You just sit down and be looking at the chat and nothing, you're not going anywhere. Hey, welcome Sammy Oduro. How you doing? It's good to have you today. So if you're just coming in, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. So we're still looking at this. We've not had any willingness to go to the downside, so I cannot consider the sell side liquidity yet. I cannot consider price trading to these levels right here now, right? So we still stick to price reaching for this buy side liquidity, as this is our last area of defense for price to stay in. We also have this down close candle. This can still be our order block, right? So we don't want to see price trade below these levels here. For price to trade below these levels, that invalidates our bias for looking for this buy side here, right? But we are still in this bullish 5 minutes fair value gap, and you see this and other block right here. This is a protected low, so this low right now can act as a possible draw on liquidity if this other block is disrespected, right? So we've seen how now this fair value gap at this point here is acting as inversion fair value gap. So once it happens like this, and we saw the close right here. So if we get a bearish fair value gap at this point here, we can start looking for price to draw to this sell side liquidity. If we get a bearish fair value gap just right here, we can look at price draw to the sell side liquidity is resting below here. This point, we need a fair value gap now to trust that, and we also need to see it disrespect this other block. If it doesn't do that, we still focus on the buy side. So is this a bearish fair value gap? Sort of. That's a good expansion to the downside. So let's see how this will form an inversion fair value gap to trade to, firstly, the sell side liquidity. So we want to see a sell side liquidity being offsetted first before going for the sell side liquidity here. So we want to see how it will offset from this area. So right here. And we also have sell side liquidity here, just inside the 1 minute fair value gap. So this is a bearish fair value gap just right here. So we see that support price go lower. So watch this sell side liquidity here. So that's a possible target for price now. So we want to see it draw to this. We have sell side 2 here. So if price breaks above this inversion fair value gap here, it invalidates that. But you see, it respected this inversion fair value gap here, trading to the sell side liquidity. So we trust that so much that this is a sure draw on liquidity right now. So price is coming to the sell side liquidity, and from here we see what we'll get from the next the sell side liquidity resting here. Boom. So another voodoo here. So I've done magic today here. We're looking inversion fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, trade to sell side liquidity. Probably random. Okay, so let's look at this sell side liquidity right now. Price will trade to this now. Let's see how price will trade to this. We want to see if price is going to trade to this now. You've seen we've disrespected this other block right here. We have a bearish fair value gap here. So let's just wait for this candlestick to close. If it's closing bearish, then I can trust that to be a bearish fair value gap. But for now, let's wait and see what we get from there. So please, if you're just joining, give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up. Give this live stream a thumbs up. Alright. It's sort of a source of encouragement to me. Just give it a thumbs up. Alright. right, so we have this now as a bearish fair value gap here. Let's see how this will react from this level. So if any reaction happens here, that's to say the body of the candlestick stays below this fair value gap and it does not close above, then we trade this to the sell side liquidity right here. All right, so the 9:30 opening bell just came in, and notice how we've upsetted the sell side and we failed to respect this bearish fair value gap. Now we are in this bullish fair value gap. Start looking for buy sides, right? This is a buy side draw liquidity now because we've upsetted the sell side liquidity, and now this becomes our breaker. This becomes our breaker right here. So we'll use this to trade for buy side now. So the current drawn liquidity is a buy side liquidity. Buy side liquidity now. Why? Because we've upsetted the sell side liquidity here. So we want to see this candlestick close above this level here. Once it closes above this breaker, we trust that buy side liquidity is sure. So we've already closed above this candlestick, closed bullish above this bearish fair value gap. You see how it traded to that. So that becomes an inversion fair value gap. It's fast, right? So I need to really be fast with it too. So just because we've upsetted this sell side now, so we should go for this consequent encroachment, then buy side liquidity right there. So please, if you're just joining, give the live stream a thumbs up. Right, so I don't like this. I want to see the candlestick close above this breaker right here. I want to see it close above. Then when it has closed above this, the next drawn liquidity would be this buy side. I don't like this. I don't like the fact that this body is staying here. I want to see close above, or it should just trade immediately to that buy side liquidity right there. So this point here is where we have taken sell side liquidity here. We've taken sell side liquidity. So target buy side liquidity. We're still targeting buy side liquidity, right? So you see this is good. Now we are going for this buy side. Then we have a bearish fair value gap from the 1 hour time frame. So we'll draw to this bearish fair value gap. Let's see. This is a bearish fair value gap just right here. So that's a potential draw on liquidity too. So price will trade to this bearish fair value gap. I don't want to see this other block act, this green up close candle act as a resistance to it, right? So I think I took this trade here. All right, so impressive, right? So we've taken, I have a screenshot of me trading this on my MT4 because I'm currently in the trade. I started executing right from here, so I think it's good. It's rushing like wildfire. to be like Monday morning talking about me while I'm making money. So we've offsetted this here. We've offsetted the buy side. So if because this was the target, so this would have been your take profit just right here. Okay, still good. We're still drawing to this. Targets for buy side have been reached. Alright, so I want to say trade to this bearish fair value gap right now. We have that, pretty cool. Alright, so hope you're enjoying yourself. So I'm going to post a screenshot of the execution and the exit, right? So that's just it for this. Successfully traded this session, right? And here, this is the bearish fair value gap we had. So let's see if we're going to trade outside that. So I think this weekend we are going to have a review, sort of. We're going to have a review discussing some stuff. So if there's any chart you want us to analyze together, you can send it to a direct message to me. Yes, news by 3 p.m. affects NASDAQ. Right, news by 3 p.m. affects NASDAQ very well. Very well. So if you're just joining, give this a thumbs up. Give this a thumbs up. Thank you. So that's just you encouraging me to keep up with the live stream, because you're sure going to be getting a lot of value from this. Trust me. You won't see anybody doing this apart from ICT, right? You will not see anybody doing this live, showing you where it's going to go, when it is going to go to that. Okay. So this is just me sharing my experience from, or what I've learned from ICT concept with you. So at least you should appreciate with a thumbs up. You're not paying for it. So all our objectives have been met. We've met our objectives for today. So once you have a win like this, you should be done for the day. What would you be staying on the chat for again? Like to look for another setup? No, now once you have a win like this for the day, just close, shut down, close your chat, and you're done. One trade a day is very okay. This is okay to make a whole lot of money if you have the capital. Because I used to still say, and I'm still saying, that trading is for the rich people that have money. So if you still have the capital, then I think I've answered all your questions. But if you have any question, you can still drop in the comments box. We discussed about that too. So this more like it's flying to the moon now. It looks as if it's flying to the moon. So let me close some profit on this one. All right, guys, you've got any questions? If you have any question, you can ask now, because I'm ending the stream right away. We're done for today. To next session. But before you leave, just give this a thumbs up, please. Give the video a thumbs up. Right? So that's it for today, guys. I trust you enjoyed the live stream.